Well, it's about time we do something with the exhaust leak on the Toyota Tacoma. We got a 99 Tacoma here with the 2.73 RZ. These are very common to have the exhaust manifold crack, and I think that's what's leaking. So in order to fix that, we got a whole table full of exhaust over here. So let's do a little before and after and see how much better we can make this truck sound. Well, this is everything we got for the exhaust build. We're going 2.5 inch. I got a Flow FX muffler, a couple bends here, some straights, and a header. Now, instead of buying new, I was on Marketplace and I found this LC Engineering header, which is a very nice header. I got it for dirt cheap. It does need a little bit of work, obviously. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sandblast this, Cerakote this with a silver Cerakote, kind of to match what was already on it, and then we'll get that installed, start building some exhaust for it. And then we also have a valve cover. While we have the kind of engine apart and access to that valve cover, we'll swap that gasket out. But either way, the main thing I'm focused on is getting this exhaust on. So let's get this in the sandblaster, get it blasted, get it coated, and then once that cures up a little bit, we'll get it installed and start TIG welding all this stainless steel exhaust together. Boy, oh boy, I love this Cerakote. This stuff looks so stinking good. It was kind of hard to spray because getting in all these cracks, making sure everything is coated, because that sand definitely gets farther than a Cerakote does with a spray gun. So I think I got her dialed in. I don't know, we'll see. But either way, we're ready to go for header. Let's rip the entire exhaust system off. We're going to use the factory cat still. This should bolt right to the factory cat, and then from the cat back, we got all the stainless to do. So let's get it all on, see how this puppy sounds. Well, I thought for sure this manifold would be cracked. There's no cracks in it, it's still good. So I was set out to find the leak. Looks like this joint here was leaking where these donuts were. It was missing one bolt, but it was definitely leaking there. Either way, we're not using that, we're throwing the header on. Well, header's on, wasn't too bad, but the dipstick had to be all bent up to get that to fit. And then that EGR tube in the back was not very close at all. So I had to mess around with that for a while. We got it fitting. Now what we need to do is a flange from our cat back to the cat on the back side. The front side is going to bolt right to the header, but we need a flange for that side. And then we also need an O2 bung. Since we're going stainless steel, I have some 1/4 inch stainless here. I'm going to try to cut. I've never cut stainless on this table. It's probably not going to cut very good, but as long as we get it somewhat close, it should work. Once we get that cut, we can bolt the cat on, get the flange and everything on with our gasket here. And I got a little piece of pipe to go. Basically, how the gasket's set up, this donut, you want it sticking out a little bit like that, and then that flange will go on the, obviously on there, and that kind of sits inside and clamps in. So we got to get that set up, but Once we get that done, we'll start with a pipe, muffler, get everything else figured out with this exhaust. Well, I'm not complaining about that. First time cutting stainless steel, 1/4 inch, not bad. Actually cut pretty decent. If you're curious, I cut that about half the speed of regular 1/4 inch mild steel, if you guys got one of these tables. But either way, I'm gonna clean these up. I'm gonna drill and tap this hole for some studs for the O2 sensor, and then we can start building out this exhaust. All right, we got the flange on, our little adapter, we got some straight, and now we're gonna weld the muffler on. Now there's a couple different ways with stainless to weld it out. One, you could fill the entire inside of the pipe with argon gas, the same gas we use on the welder, but that takes a ton of gas when you got 10 feet, 12 feet of exhaust pipe. What I like to use is this Solar Flux Type B. You mix that with methanol just a little bit, just to kind of get like a peanut buttery paste. And then you come on the inside, and wherever you're welding, like we're gonna weld that flange on there, we'll rub some on the inside of there, on the inside of that joint. And then before we put this together, obviously you want to get the inside of that pipe there where we're gonna be welding to the muffler. So what that does is it basically protects the weld on the inside from the atmospheric air. If you don't do that, it'll cause sugaring on the inside of the pipe. It's like really crusty, nasty stuff. It's a brittle weld. It's not as strong as it can be. So like I said, you got two options, either Solar Flux or you could do argon. I choose this, much cheaper, and I think it's much faster. One thing you don't want to use that on is something like intake, something before the engine, because this stuff can flake off afterwards. On exhaust, it doesn't matter. If it flakes off, it just goes out the exhaust, so not a big deal there. Well, exhaust is done. One last thing we got to do before we fire it up, even though I'm super excited to see how it sounds. We got the valve cover gasket we got to do. While we have the intake and everything kind of already apart, I figured it'd be just a good time to tackle that because it is leaking kind of down the back of the engine, and that's kind of getting annoying. So let's swap out this gasket, get the intake back on, and we should be good to go to fire it up, go for a little drive and see how this thing sounds. All right, first impression. Oh yeah, that is perfect. It's not like super loud, not too loud, but it sounds good. You can actually hear it now. We don't have any exhaust leaks, which is a plus because that's what we were fighting before. But that sounds pretty dang good. I know these mufflers do kind of break in and do get louder, but right off the bat, I'll take it. That sounds really good. Well, that's it guys, exhaust is done, looking good, sounding good. Like I said, it's about the perfect sound. It's not super loud inside, but it sounds good. You can actually hear it, and we have no more exhaust leaks, so I'm very happy about that. Now, like I said, this is the Flowmaster Flow FX muffler and 2.5-inch pipe with the LC Engineering header. So I'll have all this stuff linked down in the description box if you guys want to check it out. If you're looking for some exhaust for your 3RZ, this is about the perfect setup right here. Well, anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Hope you enjoyed it. I want you to go smash that thumbs up button, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.